I'm Dr. Walter Wong with Green Valley Pharmacy, and welcome to the Pharmacy Edge magazine interview series.
We're here in Yucaipa, California with Green Valley Pharmacy, and I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Walter Wong. Doctor, it's nice to be here, so tell me a little bit about what was your journey like to get where you are today?
So the journey was fun for the most part, but challenging at times. We just opened our second location in Rancho Cucamonga, with the first one being here in Yucaipa. I graduated from the Loma Linda School of Pharmacy in the year of 2010, originally thinking about doing a residency in specializing in transplant. So naturally, I interned at the medical center right there in Loma Linda. And it was mostly an inpatient internship, but sometimes I'll cover the outpatient pharmacy. And during my internship, I realized that I work much better in a socialized environment, which led me to choosing two of the rotations that has more interactions with different healthcare providers than I thought it was, actually. So one of them being an industry rotations with Allergan locally in Irvine, and the second one being oncology rotation, a research rotation with the NIH at Maryland. And both rotations I thoroughly enjoyed and interacted with plenty of people, but what I realized is that I felt like the interaction was tainted in a way that we were pushing either a certain product or pushing a certain agenda, which I cannot really get behind it. So I know those fields are not exactly meant for me. Now, two interactions and two experiences that really led me to want to do independent is that one of them, as my internship with the Med Center, like I said, sometimes I cover the outpatient pharmacy, and I felt like there was a much higher energy on the outpatient side and much more interactions with the staff and the patients, and I feel right at home. So I know that I'm more suitable for that kind of environment. The second one is with Waterman Pharmacy. At the time, the pharmacist, my supervisor, was Dennis. And that's the first time that I've seen that a pharmacist properly interacted with his patients and pharmaceutical care provided effectively in a community setting. And I was actually blown away by it, and I see the tremendous value of a good community pharmacist to his patients and the community. And it's literally life-changing for the patients, and so I thought, hey, you know what, that's a career I can get behind and do it for the rest of my life. So that's how I'm here.
In one word, how would you describe yourself?
One word. I say motivated. I believe that the reason I'm motivated is because I have plenty of good motivations and good motivators. I believe that happy people find meaning in what they do and do it with a passion. So being a pharmacist is about making a positive impact to my staff, my patient, and my providers. And being a business owner is to grow the business and bring more positive interactions. So in that sense, it's easy to be motivated by that. I'm also motivated to improve our practice and share our experience with the next generation of pharmacists. So my job is constantly thinking of ways to improve the quality of life of people, make people's lives better. So if you have my job, you'll be motivated too.
How do you see the industry changing in 3 years?
I think more clinical applications will be implemented, and I think collaborations with the local providers, we'll see more and more of that. I think eventually pharmacies will become the preferred location for follow-up visits for chronic diseases like hypertension or diabetes. Maybe not in 3 years, but I think we're moving towards that direction. For that exact reason, I just got certified as one of the first 500 advanced practice pharmacists in California. What it means is that really to make a commitment to stay current on the new treatment approaches and be able to collaborate with the providers when it comes time. Pharmacists needs to be able to communicate on the same platform medically and legally in order to be a crucial member of the medical system. So that's how I see that pharmacy is moving towards in the next 3 to 5 years.
Doctor, what are your 3 professional accomplishments?
So I think the first one is opening our independent practice. Providing the quality and the kind of care we want has always been a goal. without the bureaucracy and having to do with corporate, we have a lot more freedom to provide the kind of care we want. And also, like having a practice of our own is that we have a platform to start a movement, to try something new and to innovate, to try to share experience with the next generation of pharmacists. The second accomplishment is that I just got certified as an advanced practice pharmacist. So I see it as being a specialist besides having your general practice in a community pharmacy setting. And the third one is not really a accomplishment per se, but I do lecture at the Loma Linda University and the Western University Schools of Pharmacy. I felt like the modern school curriculum focused heavily on clinical, but somehow discouraged community practice, while most of us actually works in community. Somehow community was viewed as inferior or the bottom of the pyramid, with the clinical being on the very top. I don't necessarily think that means mediocrity, and I get that because we don't need additional training to be in a community, and maybe perhaps it's the lack of enthusiasm or the lack of meaning community pharmacists find in their job. But I believe we can change the culture by showing pharmacy students the true positive impact of a good community pharmacist to his patients and to his community. So that's why we are involved in the sharing of our experience with the students.
Doctor, who do you look up to?
So professionally speaking, three of my old bosses. The first one being William, my previous district manager at Rite Aid, now owner of multiple pharmacies. The most intelligent person that I know and the best district manager to work for. And the second one is Dennis, a visionary and resourceful. From community pharmacy practice to specialty, he's into a multitude of pharmacy practices. And the last one is Brandon, a very nice guy. He owned 6 pharmacies at the same time and developed his own software and still have time for his family. So truly incredible.
Doctor, think back and share a story about your personal life experience that defines who you are today. And what value lesson did you learn from it?
So thinking back, I can think about one thing in particular. I attended boarding school in Hong Kong when I was 11 by choice. And during that time, I somehow became somewhat of a ringleader among a group of trouble-causing kids in the dormitories, really the only group there is. Long story short, police was involved because of some damaged properties. I was under a lot of stress from my school, and the friends I thought were solid all left when things go south. So it was clear to me that I would end up somewhere bad if I were to stay my current course. And that's where I really learned the lesson early on that the life choices you make along the way lead you down a certain path to heaven or hell, really. And so at that point, I decided to aim for something positive and properly conduct myself in the world. And since then, I've been looking for areas that's intuitive to me. Then I'm trying to apply myself efficiently to try to bring some good. So since then, I've been moving towards that direction.
Doctor, would you explain a little bit about Green Valley Pharmacy?
So what is Green Valley Pharmacy? I think the right question is, why is Green Valley Pharmacy? Our mission is simple. It's to improve the quality of life of everyone we come in contact with. That involve a few groups of people: our patients, our staff, and our providers. We are a group of people who care about the well-being of others. And in our case, we are a pharmacy. So besides traditional duties as a pharmacy, fill and dispense and verify, we also care about our patients' well-being as a whole. We believe that each of our patients has a purpose here, and ours is here to fulfill theirs with treatments and pharmaceutical care to keep them healthy. We listen to their struggles and let them know that, hey, we care about them. And patients tend to do better when they know someone else is caring for them. The second group of people that we really care to have a better quality of life is our staff. First, we need to find out what's meaningful to them. We look for people who believe in what they do here matters and are motivated to work towards that goal. The well-being of our staff is crucial. It's because that it means higher productivity, it means employee loyalty, it means an upbeat working environment, No one wants to go to work in a low energy place when everyone dread coming in to do their time. If you're working here, you're working with me to bring some good to the community, not working for me. I don't want you to waste your life away doing what you don't care about. To me, that's a form of torturing. The last group of people that we want to have a better quality of life is our providers. So not only by being competent and being efficient as a pharmacy, but also find ways to streamline the whole process of medication delivery and somehow to reduce their workload. So we do that through different ways. One of the ways is that our system is set up to synchronize all medications to be filled and requests at the same time, which means that all the requests are sent to the doctor's office for one patient at the same time to be approved at the same time to save time. And the second set of services we provide is with the provider's approval, we can refill and also switch medications within the same class without having to call them or notify them until after the fact. So this helps the provider for reducing their phone calls and having better coverage for the patients for their medications without having them to spend more time on the phone with insurance or with us. In doing that, hopefully we can reduce their workload and let them to have a better quality of life. The last thing we do also for the providers that we have good relationship that we build with the office staff, and we have a short hold time on the phone, so they don't hesitate to call us if they need any help or need any sort of information from us.
Doctor, tell me a little bit about your role at Green Valley Pharmacy.
So at Green Valley Pharmacy, I'm a full-time pharmacist. So besides being a pharmacist, I also often looking for ways to improve our service that we're providing already and look for new service to provide. I discuss with my staff on how to handle certain situations and tackle certain problems, and also to build relationships with our local providers and communities to raise more awareness for our pharmacy.
Doctor, what's the biggest challenge facing your profession today?
So I think three things I can pinpoint. The first one being low insurance reimbursement. The profit margin compared to what it was before is much lower. The second one being exclusive contracts for the plans with their own mail order pharmacies or certain big box stores. So when it's not their preferred locations that they want patients to fill their medications, they either don't cover it or they have a much higher copay. So patients sometimes will still stay with us knowing they'll pay more because of our service, but that's not always possible for people who are less financially stable. The last challenge is being the increase in insurance processing fees. This vary based on plans and drugs, but sometimes these fees can be more than the actual payout amounts from the insurance.
Doctor, for pharmacists looking to start their own pharmacy, what advice would you give them?
So as a pharmacist, you need to have heart and believe in what you do. If you don't believe in what you do, your patients are not going to feel empowered. Your staff is not going to be empowered. So you won't be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And also being genuine, people can see right through you. So I think those are the important qualities being a pharmacist. As a business owner, I think pharmacists tend to do better when you find a niche. Either to introduce a new service or to perfect an existing service, and to be sure to be able to deliver that service that you promise, and that's important.
Doctor, how can our viewers reach Green Valley Pharmacy?
So you can check us out at our website at www.greenvalleyrx.com. All our information is on there. You're also welcome to come visit us at our Yucaipa location across the street from Vaughn's, or our Rancho Cucamonga location by Victoria Gardens.